Hey everybody, it is Wednesday, April 14th, 2021. Quick update today on the markets and some other economic news here to get into. We see assets surging, digital assets, stocks, and other digital assets skyrocketing. Dow Jones nearly 34,000. We are on pace to easily surpass 40,000 on the Dow Jones here in 2021 at this pace. So congratulations to people that stayed in the market that saw the writing on the wall. Now there's other assets that are actually inflating way more than the stock market, and you know what I'm talking about. These other digital assets are exploding as more and more people, institutions also running into non-dollar assets, stock market, other digital assets, just really taking off. Banks record profits. Let's talk about that next. Even with all the stimulus checks that have been sent out, people are still borrowing money from the banks, still taking out loans. Banks are making record profits again in fees, overdraft fees, transaction fees, all the economic activity that comes from the stimulus checks and the other liquidity programs goes back to the banks. It benefits the banks. You're going to continue to see more record profits on Wall Street. And one of the bigger success stories out of this is JP Morgan. First quarter results, profits nearly tripled to $5.74 billion just in the first quarter. Revenue also up 46% at this bank. Right? It's pretty easy to make profits when you can loan out money into existence. So essentially, you're creating money as a bank, creating money out of thin air and loaning it out in digital form. You don't even have to have the coins or dollar bills in your coffers to loan it out. And you can loan it out in unlimited amounts and charge interest on it. So obviously, you're going to make a lot of money as a bank. In the meantime, though, consumers are really feeling the struggle here, feeling the pinch. Consumer prices rose more than 9% when you look at gasoline, other consumer staples. People are not going to be able to keep up with this. So if you're in the bottom 50%, if you're not investing, if you're not riding the bull somewhere, investing in these markets, if you don't have your money in assets, including digital assets that are going to be rising, you're going to be really left behind, unfortunately. We saw that the increase for Social Security recipients was again less than 2% the last time they adjusted it, and that's nowhere near keeping up with the rising prices. So if you're not riding the bull somewhere and not investing, it's going to get more and more difficult. And if you just look at this recent jump here, I don't know many people that are getting a 9% raise at their jobs each year to keep up with this madness. But I guess it's okay because people can continue to just borrow more and more money. Banks again can create unlimited amounts of money out of thin air. And as the debt rises, prices will keep rising. It's pretty simple, supply and demand, less production, right? So anyone that's been on this channel, it's no surprise that this is happening. We've been warning here for years that look out for inflation. Deflation, not likely to happen unless the Fed changes their course, and we don't see any signs of that. Even the words that are coming out of their mouths recently at the recent meetings have indicated basically it's more of the same, more market propping, whatever it takes, unlimited backing for the banking system. Right? The only thing that could stop this rising price situation and inflation is going to be a blackout of some sort or a black swan event that really no one can predict, but it would have to be something that extreme, that major, to change the direction of the markets and these prices right now. CNBC article right here. People that didn't buy homes when homes were a little bit cheaper are really feeling the FOMO right now and the stress because affordability is really flew away from a lot of people. Searches for when is the housing market going to crash is now a red hot search on Google. So people see their rents going up and they're saying, hey, I'm not getting any equity. I'm just paying rent each month. It's going into a black hole. Home prices have taken off where most people simply cannot afford it. And even people that can afford it really can't because they're taking out loans. Most people taking out loans. And let's take a look at how big this spike in the search was. Last week, it was reported the quote, when is the housing market going to crash, had spiked over 2,400% just in the past month. So this tells you that even the regular people, the everyday, the norms, non-investors are just noticing this outrageous increase in prices. And sadly, what I don't think people realize is it doesn't have to crash. Again, this is endless liquidity. They can keep this market propped up forever. It's all in the hands of the Fed. They can take the median home price up to $1 million if they wanted to. It's endless liquidity. It does not end. So whatever happens, up, prices down, it's all in the hands of the money printers, right? So I'm not here on this channel to make predictions. There's no way to predict a manipulated market. All right, if we didn't have an endless money supply, then it would be pretty easy to predict. All you would have to do is look at people's incomes and you could say, oh, people can't afford it. Prices have to come down, prices have to crash. Well, this is the economy. People do not have to afford it for prices to continue to rise. You can keep out taking out loans. If the going gets tough, you get behind on your payments, you could sell your house, in most cases at an enormous profit because prices are rising so rapidly. So you can get out from under the loan and still make money on top of it because of the rising prices. So anyone that gets in trouble, and they could just sell and get out of trouble. Now combine that with the still millions of people that are not paying their mortgages, and a lot of people are just going to ride it out, not pay their mortgages, just keeping a roof over their head, and that keeps supply off of the market because normally these people would be forced to sell. We're talking still over 2 million people, and that huge glut of homes that normally would hit the market, well, they're going to stay off the market. So it creates a bigger supply shortage, and again leads to rising prices when you have lower supply and more demand with all of the lending and debt that's being issued. It's also reported here that at the start of this month, 42% of homes were selling for more than their list price. That's according to Redfin. So we have bidding wars. There's situations where people are having 50, 60, 70, 80 offers on their home just a day or two after they put it on the market. Simply outrageous, amazing, pick your word. But again, it's no surprise. This is what happens when you have an infinite money supply and you allow banks to endlessly create money in the form of loans and debt. All right, let's wrap this up right here. This is the M1 money stock. Now, this was recently converted by the Fed there. Now it's M1SL. It's a new chart, so the old chart is expired for those that are looking for it. But look at the money supply here. And this was the financial crisis. Remember, people were freaking out back here with this increase in money supply due to the financial crisis. But now look at here. We are into the stratosphere. So compared to the financial crisis, we are thousands of times above and beyond what we saw in the financial crisis. All right, so what do you call what we're in now? Is this financial crisis to infinity? Well, normally in a financial crisis, you would expect falling prices, but now we have a devalued dollar, never-ending inflation, rising prices, rising cost of living, even everyday goods are increasing, so the average person is going to start feeling the pinch, if they haven't already, really start feeling the pinch in their wallet. And this is going to turn into, again, a bigger split in the economy. It's going to be a nightmare for a lot of people, but people on the upper end, especially investors and people that have assets, are going to see even more record profits. So if you're in the top 50%, if you're seeing your net worth skyrocket, be very, very thankful. Congratulations to you. If you're not invested somewhere, if you're not getting anything out of this, it's going to get more and more difficult. I pray for all the people out there having a difficult time. But remember, money isn't everything, it's your health. Don't let this manipulated economy drive you crazy. There's a lot more mental health issues happening, more people having to get on medications and anxiety, depression, you name it. All right, folks, either way, hope you're doing well. Stay safe, stay prepared. Hope to hear from you down in the comments on this one. More people searching for when is the housing market going to crash? What's going to happen? What's your prediction? Are we going to see markets propped to infinity and maybe median home prices 5, 10 years from now $1 million in the United States? It could happen. It's happened in other countries. A little thing called hyperinflation and currency devaluation. The U.S. is not immune, or is there going to be some unforeseen event that's going to bring this whole system of these markets and everything down? You let me know down in the comments, everybody. Thanks for watching, folks. Bye now.